time for the meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Ask Dr. Himes, will you lead us in prayer?
Dear Lord, we thank you for allowing us to come together once again to take care of the business of Lawrence County School District. I ask that you anoint this meeting, let everything that's discussed here be done decently and in order, and that all decisions are made in the best interest of the students and staff in this district. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Number 2, adoption of the agenda. I need a motion for adoption of agenda. Any additions or
I got a question.
subtractions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
Number 11.
11.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't understand.
All right. I will explain this to you. If you look in the April 27th, no,
I look
April
at-
the 20th,
I look at the 20th, yeah, right.
yeah, the regular board meetings.
Yeah.
If you look in the minutes,
I look at it.
all right, so, and that was my fault, but we made a motion to go ahead with it, and Wesley made an amendment. Wait a minute, listen to me. He made the amendment that we go to a bond issue. We voted on the amendment. I was so frustrated that we didn't even vote on the motion, so we gotta go back and vote on the motion tonight.
Now, no, the motion is clear. It was an addition to a change based on the motion that you made.
And we went back and listened to the tape,
But, well, now.
and we listened to the tape, and we are correct, are we not, Dr. Hines?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm sitting in here listening too. So now, I don't know what tape y'all listen to, and at the same time, if you did listen to tape, y'all didn't call me in and listen to it. And it was 3 of us who voted.
We still have the tape.
Well, hey, look, well, you still got a tape, but the fact is, about it, you made a decision.
We didn't
Yeah.
make a decision.
Well, yes, you did. You listed something.
Mr.
on there.
Alexander, we did not make a decision.
If you list
We
something,
did not
if
make
you
a
list an
decision.
item on the agenda,
All right, we're going on, because we did not make a decision. I can't tell you any clearer to that.
well, I can't. I know you can't because it's not clear.
It was my fault. We did not vote on the motion. We voted on the amendment, and the amendment passed. And we gotta go back and vote on that motion tonight. Any other questions?
No, that's it. I don't like it with that.
Mr. Chair, how early does out-of-state travel have to be approved for board members?
I thought it was 30 in advance, 30 days, wasn't
It's just in advance. I don't think it varies.
it? And I think this board made the policy, they can suspend the policy they need to.
Okay, I was just wondering because Southern Regional was coming up in July, so I guess we
We
got
got
time.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to put that on there?
No, we got time.
Okay.
We'll do it next month.
All right. So I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
I move.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Mr. Curtis? Nope, 4-1. All right, number 3, approval of the minutes. It's April the 20th, April 13th, April 25th, and April the 27th. I need a motion.
Move.
Ms. Harvey?
Second.
Stuckey? All in favor of approving the minutes?
I put the minutes.
Mr. Wesley?
So I know what's in it.
April 27 is the one you have the issue with, isn't it?
No,
No, it's
22nd.
It's
The 20th.
I mean,
It's
20th.
the 20th. The minutes, in my mind, is
So we're gonna
correct.
approve it if you got an issue with it, we're gonna approve them?
Yeah, I mean, the minutes are correct. Minute says we approved the amendment, and no action was taken on the motion.
Okay. All right, I got you.
Yep. How you vote? 5-0. Number 4, public comments. I have a list. I had the list. First one is Eugene Bryant.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't here when you made that motion on the 20th to move forward with something that's going to enhance the school, but my hope is that the board will move forward with all the shareholders, the teachers and administrators, to build a school that's going to move Lawrence County education forward for our children and not for personal agendas. I realize that there's been backroom talk and midnight calls to change people's mind, but I'm hoping that you will stay the course and move forward for our children's sake and do the best thing and do the right thing for our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 2, Gwendolyn Alexander. Ms. Alexander, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Good evening. I have some concerns, I have some questions for the board concerning this plan of term consolidation. And I just wanted to make sure that it dropped your. First of all, I'm concerned that the term consolidation is being used, considering, and I won't go over the definition of the difference between consolidation and a merger. With what you have proposed, it is actually a merger, it's not a consolidation. The consolidation would include you bringing together the wasted use of 3 different schools, 3 different middle schools would be a consolidation, and moving those elementaries from New Hebron to Picketilton to Monticello Elementary, and making adjustments for that would be a consolidation. Otherwise, we're doing a merger. But I do have some questions in the interest of time. I apologize for not greeting you properly, but good evening. I'd implore the public, as I'm talking, that they would make inquiries concerning these things. But those questions are mainly about the logistics. The most important questions for me concerning this new facility that has been communicated and there's an attempt to vote on is whether you've visited the logistics of the planned addition to the elementary school with the merger of Rod Page 5th through 8th grade scholars. And if so, what are the factors of those logistics which have been considered, and what are your plans to address them to ensure that they are effectively managed within a 7 to 8 hour school day? I have in my head, and based on my experience, there's 15 to 20 logistical items that are factors of adding a facility with that mass of people in an area where, if I understand it correctly, there's limited ability to expand the actual space around the facility in terms of the land. Okay, and then there's some other questions that I have, and I would ask that if you would respond to these things or let us know when it is that you can hold a public forum to address these concerns. Is there a design plan in place for the noted addition to the elementary school? If so, how can we access it? Will the public be allowed to vet it? If not, how will the addition be approached without it? What is the total cost quoted? What is the contingency on the cost? What is the total square footage of the addition? What are the total number of classrooms to be added per grade level? What is the planned size of each classroom to be added? How does that size up to Mississippi's standards in terms of the minimum size classrooms that are required? And what, if any, other spaces will be provided, and what are their square footages? So those are questions that I have. I pray that the public has questions and the public gets out to push to have their questions addressed and to get opportunity to vet this major decision that we will be stuck the next 50 years. If we count how long Rod Page has been there and these other schools have been there, we're talking 60 plus years, we will be stuck with whatever this decision is. So it's not something to be taken lightly. It is going to go beyond folks' graves, and we need to consider our children, grandchildren, our posterity, and the impact this is going to have on them for this decision that's being made. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alexander. Mr. Amos Bridges?
Oh, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I want to answer question number 1 on the logistics, no. On the edifice, number 1 is no. We had a mock draft from JDHM that they said they could expand the dimensions somewhat. So the answer to number 2 on the edifice is no. 3 is hope so. And that's all I can answer, Ms. Evans. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Bridges. Mr. Amos?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Come to you again. I just say ditto to everything that's been said. And I'd like to say to you all, the school board members, You're elected by the people. You're appointed by the court on high through electors of the people. And the decision that you make concerning the school district is not about you, not about Amos, Eugene, or any one individual. It's about what's good for the citizens, the taxpayers, the students, the children, administrators, teachers, and students. That's what it's about. What's going to foster the best environment conducive for learning for our kids to be in, that will put them on the same level or the level with other districts when they end up going to college. If you do some research, you'll know that our kids are behind when they leave here. We need everything upgraded. And we can't upgrade everything if we don't upgrade the facilities. We don't upgrade technology. Our infrastructure needs to be upgraded. How do we do that? And number one way to do it and be able to afford it, and that's consolidation. You all know all of these schools that we got, we can't afford them. We can't keep them up. We can't repair them adequately. So what is the best thing to do in your mind of mind and heart of heart? Do the right thing. It might not be a popular thing, but it's not for me. It's to foster a good education and also to entice people who will move this way to stay in this county, send their children to school in this county. Now, we can't let busing be an issue. Why? Kids are going to Brookhaven from Monticello. They're going to Prince Christian from Lawrence County. Kids are coming from Sontag, Oma to Monticello, Rabbit Road to New Hebron, Paytontown to Topeka. So when you start crying about just one set of kids, what about the rest of them? What about all kids? Everybody, if you look at the distance, they'll be coming from the same place, same distance, and no longer and no less on the school bus. Why is it good for one group to be able to be bused and the other group not? Consolidation for the high school was not wanted. But after it happened, we all know it has been a blessing to this county. Been a blessing to our kids. Been a blessing to every facet of our educational program.
15 seconds, Mr.
We need
Mr. Amos.
the right thing to be done and to be considered by the school board. To do the right thing, not personal, but do the right thing for the school district, the citizen, and the taxpayer.
Thank you, Mr. Amos. Number 5, financial. I have a motion to accept it.
Move.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any questions? I have one on here, gym floor repair for $12,150. What gym floor?
That is the old gym at the high school.
Okay. It's fixed now?
Repaired.
Repaired.
Yes.
See, I got a question about the whole process. See, that, to me, is another issue. We've been spending money on all these dilapidated buildings for years, ever since I've been here. My question was whether or not we are wasting money, putting good money on bad. And I still say the same thing. If that building costs $12,000, or whatever the case is, to fix the floor, why is the floor messed up that costs that much money? And what do we do to make sure that these things that we are doing stand? Because we spend all kind of money around the elementary building up here at the right page. And look at it now. We condemn it. So my position is, why is it that we so caught up on trying to patch stuff? It's like putting the Band-Aid on the council. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, I'm not really concerned about me personally for my children's benefit. I'm not. Because, first of all, whether they're here or someplace else, they're gonna do what they need to do in order to be successful. But every child in this district, every parent in this district, in this county, I'm concerned about every child, every teacher, every administrator. Now, some of you might think it's simply because, you know, I address people in certain ways, but it has nothing to do with my concern for the best for you and for the best for our county. Now, I don't always agree with Superintendent over there. I don't always agree with her. I don't always agree with lawyer, Bridges, and none of them. But one thing I'm consistent in is that I want the best opportunity for our children. When they leave here, y'all have to understand this. They're gonna compete with people who have actually received the best opportunities. And so if we want to stay ahead of the game, we got to move, we got to step up. That's all that's good. I don't, you know, 10 years, 15 years down the line, I don't know what y'all gonna do. But I'm saying this, if it's gonna cost us money to do it, we should do it now instead of waiting till later, because you can rest assured, if them buildings in Topeka, them buildings over there in New Haven, that regular building over there, and some of the ones over here already need some repairs and need some upgrades. So why not just bite the bullet? I mean, you're a taxpayer, I'm a taxpayer. I mean, if I got to pay more money for it, then I don't have a problem with it. How about tags and everything else? More the problem, most folks in here. So, and I don't have not a single child in the school. Now, I got 2 grandkids, but they don't have to be there. That's it. But all of you are my family. I don't care whether you're white, blue, black, or green. Because this is the thing is that the man that I serve don't see faces. He see hearts. So what I know is this, that everything that I've done to you all here to try to help this school, it's not because of the fact I dislike somebody or because we have a difference and then we get in an argument. No. When I leave here, my conscience is clear because I'm doing things that I know is right to do. So all I'm saying to you is a community. Talk to your fellow people in the community. Address their issues in the community. But don't get caught up in personal things. Like, oh, I want to keep this in this little corner over here, this in this corner here. I want to say one more thing about this. This down in Topeka, over in New Haven, in Monticello, our kids that are coming from these schools, when they come down to competing, Rod Page was supposed to be the bottom of the barrel. But if you think about it, the majority of the folks who come here and end up excelling, who happen to get valedictorian and hospital, they come through Rod Page. So what that says? It says something is like, because all the kids, don't care where they come from, ought to be able to compete on the same level. And it shouldn't always turn out to be where you got a few people from one segment of the population achieving. Something wrong. See, we jump down on people because we don't want to work for them. I've been in that situation. I've been in a situation where I had people working for me. They didn't like me because of the color of my skin. And they refused to want to do the work. I don't care. But the same token is, I've worked for people like that. I work with people like that. And it doesn't stop me from doing what is right. I don't care who you are. Dr. Herbert over there, me and him go wall to wall. But I don't have no hatred for him. But I dislike some of the things that the way he approached certain things. Dr. Bridges over there, I don't have no dislike for him either. We disagree on a lot of some things. But Stuckey over there, I don't dislike him either. My point is this here. It's not about whether I like it or not. It's about making sure things are done right. And if every child is given an opportunity, you don't want your child going nowhere ill prepared. I don't care who you are. So do the best you can. Go out to the communities, fight for what's right, and I think all of us will be right together.
Two.
Okay.
Any other? Any other discussion? I'll ask for the vote on number 5, financials. All in favor? 5-0. Number 6, financial year 23 MAEP funding. No action is required, but it must be a report.
Mr. Johnson is passing out to you a worksheet, a spreadsheet of MAEP funding for Lawrence County School District. This is funding for the FY23 school year. Just so you know, while we are planning for next year's budget, we are facing a $407,000 decrease in MAEP funding due to low ADA. So just for your information, know that we are working with a cut in funding from the state.
Question.
Yes, sir.
What happens, the reason why we had a attendance deficit? What seems to be the problem?
So if, I don't have a copy, give me a copy. If you will look at, this is comparing,
I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the difference between last year and this year.
so this is not, I guess, Mr. Johnson probably can explain it better than I can. This is a result of our decreased student
Okay.
enrollment
Right.
and in combination our ADA,
Okay.
student attendance. Mr. Johnson can explain it a little bit better to you,
Okay.
hopefully, where you can understand it.
MDE uses what's called a hold harmless adjustment.
Mhm.
Last year, we was able to get the adjustment. MDE did grant a hold harmless adjustment, which means it takes the ADA over 4 years and use the greatest to calculate the base student cost. This year, they did not go with hold harmless. We did not get the adjustment. So whatever your ADA amount was, that's the amount that was used to calculate MAEP. So over the 4 years, we have seen a decrease in enrollment, which in terms decreases ADA, average daily attendance.
Okay. A decrease in enrollment. Is the population shrinking in the county?
There's multiple factors that can go into the
Okay.
reasoning
So,
of the enrollment.
well, now, if the population is shrinking in the county, then the school has something to do with the population shrinking. Because if you had a decent school, people would come to the county. So now, every year, if we're gonna follow the same trend now, instead of getting better, it's gonna get worse. Simple as that.
All right, number 7, biracial committee report. There is no committee report. Go to number 8, Rod Page TSI report.
I knew I had a folder coming. I knew a folder was coming. Thank you.
All right, for our May TSI report for Rod Page Middle School, everything on the front page has stayed the same the last time I reported our third benchmark assessment results. And so we can move to the second page and look at our April demographic numbers. Our total enrollment for April was 289 students. Our traditional enrollment is the same number because we have no virtual students at this time. Our student ADA was 90.1%. The percentage of students with 2 or more absences was 43%. Our teacher attendance rate for the month of April was 93.37%, and our number of disciplinary referrals that were reported to the state were 14. When asked to describe how the school is addressing areas of challenge presented by the data above and or the areas that caused this identification of TSI, the school has identified students that remain at the bottom 25% and has recommended them for the district's summer learning program. The teachers are also making recommendations for resources that parents can use over the summer to help reduce some summer learning gaps. Describe the district's supports that have been provided to assist with the school's principal in addressing school improvement efforts, and those things have not changed. Full-time assistant principal, district-wide PLCs, web-based programs in math, ELA, and science for 5th and 8th grade, and interventionists, and the hiring of additional assistant teachers. When asked to describe specific P16 activities that have taken place to support the district's improvement efforts, a P16 council meeting was held on Thursday, April 28th at 5:30 p.m., and only one invited stakeholder attended. There are no changes to the budget. Those will not change again until June. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Bridges.
Thank you.
Number 9, benchmark assessment, kindergarten readiness, and 3rd grade reading map data presentation. Ms. Tiffany Madison, the curriculum director, will present.
Good evening.
It's all right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, I have several pieces of data to present to you tonight. The front page, you have the benchmark assessment results. Be mindful of what is in red indicates a decrease in proficiency. What's in green indicates a increase in proficiency, and I'll only read the district results. For kindergarten, we have 27% proficiency. 1st grade, 29%. 2nd grade, 35%. 3rd grade, ELA, and I'm on ELA, we have 30% proficiency. 4th grade, we have 30% proficiency. 5th grade, 32%. 6th grade, 22% proficiency. 7th grade, 25%. 8th grade, 28%. If you turn to the next page, we have our math and our science proficiency results. For math, kindergarten, we have 31%. 1st grade, 22%. 2nd grade, 32%. 3rd, 27%. 4th grade, 17%. 5th grade, 19%. 6th grade, 19%. 7th grade, 27%. 8th grade, 19%. For science, 5th grade science, we have 38% proficiency. For 8th grade science, we have 39% proficiency. You turn to the next page, we have our high school benchmark results. English 1, we have 19% proficiency with a 51% pass rate. English 2, 22% with a 43% pass rate. For Foundations to Algebra, 4% with a 24% pass rate. Algebra 1, 39% with a 57% pass rate. Intro to Biology, 8% with a 56% pass rate. Biology 1, 35% with an 80% pass rate. In U.S. History, we have 36% proficiency with a 70% pass rate. Turn to the next page. We have our 8th grade ACT post-test results. For English, we have 12, an average of 12. For math, we have an average of 14. For reading, we have an average of 13. For science, we have an average of 13, and the composite score for the post-test is 13. Okay. Now, the next page, you have the results of the kindergarten readiness assessment. Now, the purpose of the KRA is to improve the quality of classroom instruction, to place students in a trajectory to meet end of grade 3 reading expectations, which is proficiency. For the end of year KRA, students are aiming for a scale score of 681 to classify them as transitional readers. The report before you shows that out of 133 students that tested this time, we had 67 students to meet the 681 goal. That's 50% of our kindergartners tested who met the goal and are classified as transitional readers. Now, I want to remind you that on the beginning of the year KRA, we only had 21% of our kindergartners to meet the scale score of 530. So this report shows that we had a 29% increase in students meeting their goals between the beginning of the year assessment and the end of the year assessment. Okay. The next page is the last page in your packet that you have. These are the results from the third grade reading assessment. For the school year, we had 71.9% of our third graders to meet the requirements of the Literacy-Based Promotion Act on the third grade reading assessment on the first try. This report before you shows the data trend starting with 2018-2019 and ending with 21-22. 2018-2019 was the last year of state testing before the COVID pandemic hit us. When we look at the data from 2018 to 2019 school year and compare it to the 21 to 22 school year, as a district, we are 4.1 points higher than we were before the COVID pandemic disrupted testing and teaching and learning. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Madison. Number 10, superintendent comments.
Good evening. Coming around to you is your monthly board and administrator publication. Student enrollment for the month of April. For the district, 1,749. There was no change from the previous month. The average ADA was 89. Teacher attendance for the month of April was 93%, and discipline across the district was 4.8% of our student population. Our student of the month for the month of May is little Mr. Carter Ard at Topeka Tilton. Support staff of the month is Mrs. Lisa Griffith at Lawrence County Technology Career Center. And our teacher of the month is Ms. Georgie Davis at MES. Our COVID numbers for last week have increased. We went several weeks with 0 COVID cases or quarantines across the district. Last week we had 1 positive student case at the high school on the high school campus, 1 positive case at Topeka Tilton, and 1 quarantine as a result, and 1 staff member across the district. So keep in mind, COVID is not over. We still need to take precautions. The week of April 24th through the 30th was Administrative Assistant Board Clerk Appreciation Week. And on behalf of the board, I presented Ms. Porter with an appreciation to recognize her for her contributions to the workings of this district. So at this time, I would like to ask the board to give her a little praise here for the job that she does. July 4th holiday is approaching, and just for your information, I think that is on a Monday. Well, Memorial Day too. But I guess my mind is on the 4th of July. Memorial Day, of course, the office is closed, but I was thinking about the summer. We will be having summer hours when school is out, when students are gone for the summer. So we will have across the district summer hours. July 4th is a holiday, of course. The Monday, I think that is on a Monday, the office will be closed. All the offices will be closed. We have completed our third-party audit, and as a result, this is unofficial. You will be getting, as board members, you will be getting an official copy of the audit report as soon as the Office of the State Auditor has approved them and printed them. You will be getting your copies. But we had 6 findings. Our auditor did a thorough audit of 2 of our special programs and, of course, our district maintenance. 6 findings, 1 of which was what he would consider material, a significant one. And that's the only one that we had to provide a corrective action plan for. 1 of the 6, I need to remind you all that it was a result of you all not submitting your statements of economic interest. That was a finding for us for last year. So I want to encourage you going forward. In January, you get reminders monthly about submitting those statements of economic interest. It's important that you do that by the deadline, which is May 1st. And this year, we got it in before May 1st by the hair of our chin. But you will be getting those reports hopefully really soon. In your books, your binders, today you received a request for related parties questionnaire. This is at the request of our auditor. He's asking for you to complete that. This is something that auditors do whenever they do audits. It's just letting him know that you have no conflicts with any employees in the district. Policy review, section G, is up for review. If you have any suggestions for revisions, please submit those to the superintendent's office. All revisions for section G, policies GBD through GCRAA, will be submitted for approval at the June meeting. And finally, just to give you an update, the superintendent's transition is underway. We have, Mr. Daly and I have met several times, and we have a plan for a transition, a schedule. He is visiting the district and speaking with various employees. He is involved, we are involving him in the budget planning at where we are at this point for next year, and keeping him abreast of any vacancies that remain to be filled. As you know, the CFO position is still vacant. We are accepting applications for it. We have received several. Only one of those meet the minimum qualifications. So we will continue looking. The posting will remain open until we find a suitable replacement for Mr. Johnson. However, I do want you all to know that should the end of June come and we have not found anyone, Mr. Daly and the board will have to consider bringing in a consultant to help with some portions of the business office. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I have a question or two. First of all, I want to thank you for helping transition. I know you weren't extended that courtesy when you came on board. Secondly, you mentioned holidays across the summer. You said Memorial Day and 4th of July. Juneteenth, you're not taking Juneteenth off? The Monday after Father's Day.
Yeah, yes. For whatever reason, it is a national holiday, but we did not include it on the calendar. If the board chooses to do, we can bring before the board at next month's meeting a revision to the district calendar to add that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just slipped my mind.
Take a look at 236 day
Yeah.
employees.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Number 11, Rod Page Middle School and Monticello Elementary School Consolidation Update. Like we had a discussion early, we failed to either approve or reject the motion with the amendment. we only approved amendment, so I'm gonna read what we did, and then, we'll ask for the vote on this. It says the motion was made to continue with consolidation. The motion was amended to, delay the consolidation process until a bond is issued to put on a ballot. That passed, so now we have to vote on this motion that says continue with consolidation, but to delay the consolidation process until a bond is put on the ballot. So, I'd like to ask for any discussion. All right, I'd like to ask, for the vote, all those in favor of passing the motion with the amendment to put it on the ballot. All those in favor?
Say it one more time.
To continue with consolidation, but to delay the consolidation process until a bond issue is put on the ballot.
We voted on that last month.
Right.
We voted on the amendment.
Right.
We didn't vote on the motion, the original motion.
I thought we did, but, you know, we can.
No,
go
we
on
didn't.
again.
We voted on the amendment, and we got so frustrated I kept on going. We did not come back to vote on the motion itself.
It ain't gonna change
Right,
that.
that's what, we just need to vote down the original motion. We don't need to re-vote on what we voted on last month.
We didn't vote on it. We didn't vote on the motion. We had a motion on the floor
What was it?
to continue with consolidation and hire a architecture firm, okay? That was a motion on the floor. You asked for amendment to it. We voted on the amendment, and it passed, but we have never voted on the motion with the amendment.
So you're not asking correctly. We need to vote that motion down. So you asking we should be
No, no.
voting yea or nay?
This,
We voting that motion down, so I vote no. If we vote, we
No.
vote
No,
down
no,
the
no, no, no.
motion.
It is,
No.
what you're voting for is amendment, a motion to continue with consolidation, but to delay that consolidation until it's put on the ballot. A bond issue is put on the ballot.
yeah,
That's what it was.
okay, what he just said was that in my mind, is that he's saying that motion, overall motion was not included in our decision.
That's correct.
But, now, I don't see it changing anything, but the technical aspect of it, because we still voting the same way. What you're saying is that we just gonna vote on that aspect of the motion because,
Well, you gotta vote on the motion overall. We never voted on the motion.
So that's what I'm saying. So we didn't vote on that. We voted on the amendment.
We voted on amendment, but not amendment to the motion.
So what was the original motion?
The motion was to continue with consolidation plans and hire an architecture firm.
Okay, that's what
You
asked.
made
Yes,
an
sir.
amendment that
Right.
says we were to continue but delay it until we got a bond issue.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That passed.
That part passed
So all we gotta do is vote on that motion that came
with
up
that
last
amendment.
month.
That's correct.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You have to vote on the motion as amended, because we have never voted on it.
Counselor,
That's right.
it is,
So you had a standalone motion to start with, obviously, you amended it. So
Mhm.
then the amended motion is now on the floor,
Mhm.
as is. So as I understand it, the amended motion means if it passes, that what you're subject to put to a bond issue, if it passes, is what has been approved by the federal courts. So that's the only thing that y'all have right now subject to construction at all.
but I don't, you know.
You got no plan.
But this is the thing, I mean, you're saying that we don't have a plan, but now, when that motion, he amended that motion last board meeting, that amendment, when we voted on the whole thing. Now, whether you voted it up or heard it like that, but that was my understanding, we voted on the whole thing.
that's done.
So
It's not done.
It is done.
Unfortunately, it's not.
What y'all have done, what y'all
It's
have
not.
done is had backroom meetings all month and
All right.
trying to get it
For
reversed.
point of order, all right. I got to ask y'all not to be commenting. I may have to ask some of you to leave if you continue on now. And we're not gonna continue that. This is our board meeting. All right, so Wesley, what we did not vote on is the motion. We voted on the amendment. We approved the amendment. Now we have to vote on the motion as amended.
We can vote the motion down for what I'm saying, cause.
So, what would continue what we started last month? 3 yeas
Mm-hmm.
On the amendment.
on the amendment.
That's right.
So if we don't get 3 yeas, then it didn't do no good to amend it last month.
Or the motion.
Okay.
That's right. Yep. All right. So all have asked, all in favor of the motion to continue on, but put it on the ballot before we continue.
No, I'm not in favor.
All those in favor? As amended, the motion as amended.
The motion as amended to continue on. No, you first said to delay consolidation, or as Ms. Alexander beautifully explained, it's a merger. So we're delaying the merger with this amended motion and continuing on toward the ballot. That's what we're about to vote on.
Correct.
I vote yea.
Maybe.
But you use it, but you use it for their consolidation plan. If it does pass, if the bond does pass, that's what the Lord just explained.
That's what I'm confused about.
The consolidation plan, that
It's not gonna matter.
this
Bond
is
issue
you,
passed, they're
the
gonna use it
plan,
for
the
the
plans we're talking about, that y'all, that is subject to being delayed and placed on the ballot, is what has just passed muster with the federal courts, what we've sent to them. Now, if y'all want a different plan, then you'd have to vote this down and start from scratch and then put that on the ballot.
Well, that's right. That's
Because
why.
you don't have a plan.
That's exactly what I said 5 minutes ago. We voted on the amendment, it was yes. Now, all we gotta do is vote this one down.
That's correct.
It's part of the same.
That's correct.
but
Well,
it's
you
part
was
of-
finna let me vote yes.
Hang on. It's
I
part.
asked you 5 minutes ago.
Hang on. What we got is, it's integrated into the same motion. It is, you're voting to put the plan that y'all voted on to send to the courts that got approved on the ballot, essentially.
No,
That's what's before
No.
the board.
no.
That's what y'all amended,
Well,
his
we
original,
changed, well, we changed.
his original
Okay, well, we
motion
changed it.
was to move forward
We changed it.
with the federal court plan.
We changed it.
And then y'all amended it to hold off and put a plan on the ballot, which the A plan was the motion that you amended.
Okay, well.
So now that's what you're doing. So if you want a different plan, you vote this motion down completely, and then you figure out what plan you're gonna go with to put on the ballot.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Right. I vote nay.
Yeah, I voted nay on that plan too.
Sir?
No, see, this is the thing.
I've read it, Mr. Bridges, and it can be interpreted 70 different ways. It depends on who's doing the interpretation.
Okay, fine, this is the thing. Okay, it seems as though,
We voted not to continue on with the
Yeah.
consolidation
Yeah, that's-
project
That's what you voted amendment.
at
Okay, well, let's-
Monticello Elementary.
yeah, that's right, we voted not to. and
We
so-
can't, I don't know why it's so hard.
I don't know why it's so hard for you to do. If you
Listen.
go to the US Congress,
Hold
they
on.
have an amendment, they vote on the amendment.
Hold on,
They'll
now.
vote on the amendment to the bill.
Let me make
There
my
may be
point.
40 amendments that they vote on. When they finally get through with all them, then they vote on the bill as amended. That's what we're doing.
Okay, that wasn't where I was going at that particular time.
Okay.
Where I'm going is this. I don't know why it's so hard to understand that we can't afford to spend 15 years paying a note back and merging one school when all 5 of them are falling apart. We need a comprehensive look around this district
So we dropped
and
that
do it
plan
the right
totally.
way. And let the people decide. If they decide no at the poll, then they decide no. But Topeka's not gonna wait 15 years. New Hebron's not gonna wait 15 years till we get this note paid off. That's my point. But we're here for the kids. I've been hearing that before my reelection. We here for the kids. No, we here for ourselves because we want to take what we consider the poor kids and stick them over to MES, and then we go into Topeka County, Mr. Alexander, and build a new school or do something down there, and then we going up north. I know what's gonna happen. And I'll be long gone before it does, but I know, I can see down the road. I got vision, I can see down the road. And so y'all done took all this month to try to take this back. Do what you're gonna do. I'm tired.
Well, my position is that motion that you had was voted down on, from the standpoint of my understanding that we were gonna do something different. So, now, to me, it's all about making sure that we have the right approach to doing the thing. Because it's no question, these old school buildings, you can never bring them up to par. Never. That's the bottom line. You can spend as much money as you want to spend on them, you ain't gonna bring them up to par. So why is it that we gonna sit here and waste our time talking about fixing one little corner over here and we got all the rest of them falling apart?
So let me tell you how this works.
I know how it
Let me
works.
tell you how it works. You can only get so many meals,
Well,
okay, money,
mhm,
and they cap it.
mhm,
The state caps it.
mhm.
We at that cap. That's this far from that cap.
Well,
We can't get any more money.
also for the next 15 years.
We can't get any more money.
Well, we'll see.
The only way you can get it is with a $3 million note is one way. We had this whole meeting, a $3 million note. You can do that. You can add and ask the supervisors for $3 million note. We have that right now.
Well,
All right, wait, let me finish. All right, the only other way you can do it is with a bond referendum.
mhm.
All right, the guy got here and said, the most you can get that you gotta be able to pay it back is like 20-something million.
Mhm.
So we can't do anything over 20-something million. We can't.
Well,
By law, we cannot.
but.
So if you proposing something that's 25 million, we can't do it.
Yeah.
If you throw something that's 30 million, we can't do it.
Wait a
There's
minute.
other alternatives.
What's the other alternative?
There are, most of these people here tonight came in here with an alternative plan in good faith,
Okay,
with modular buildings and things of that nature. Y'all wouldn't even look at it.
so we're talking about
We wouldn't
doing
look-
something
wait,
that's
you asked
less
for
than
an
20
alternative.
million.
I'm trying to answer your question.
9 to 11 million.
That
Yeah.
was one alternative.
So-
Then the law says ESSER funds can be used towards new construction. We're not utilizing that. We're doing HVACs and putting in water fountains and things of that nature. There are other avenues.
So let me address you and what she brought is all these questions. I have those same questions. How much is it gonna cost? How much is a square foot? What kind of congestion are you gonna have? The only way you can get those questions answered is to go forward with a project and hire an architect firm to give you those figures. I want those figures answered just like she does, like everybody else in that county. We may get them figures and say, we can't afford this,
Well,
but we do not know.
That's not going,
We do not know.
We know that.
Yeah, we know.
We don't.
You know we going with JBHM and that plan they brought in here half-cocked last year.
I want the answers to them questions that she asked.
no,
I would love to have those questions answered.
well,
Those are not questions.
Well,
May I-
questions, they
since
got a
those
question
are not-
mark behind 'em.
Since those are not questions, may I say?
Yes.
Those are not questions that require a firm to answer.
Yes,
Those
it
are
does.
questions- No. I'm telling you by my
No, it don't, Doc.
experience.
We can answer
We
these
have to
questions.
answer those questions. The particular questions that are the logistics, that I know those 15 to 20, provided there's some cooperation, I can give them to you.
All right.
And 95% of them, we have to answer. No firm answers those questions for us.
Is John
We have
Daly
to
here?
do it.
Can I ask you a question, John Daly?
Yes, sir.
Did you just get through with a project at Jeff Davis County?
We are in the
the
middle of
middle
the
of it?
project. We're finishing up.
So, that without hiring an architect, do you know how much square foot it costs to do that?
No, sir.
There's no way to know that unless you get an architecture, right? Give you some kind of thing.
Jeff Davis hired an architect.
Yes.
well, now, see.
How many campuses,
now,
Mr. Daly?
May I say something?
One second, Curtis.
There's work on 3 campuses.
Is work on 3 campuses. They're not only working over there in Bass, but they're working at, right there across from, Johnson Ruby K. Chapel Funeral Home. They took a comprehensive look.
Right.
We looking at one spot and we head over heels with JBHM on that one spot.
No,
There's some misinformation going on here. The attorney said it's the court's plan, it's not the school board's plan. All the court did was ask the person who told you to move
The
forward.
plan was approved by the court.
I know it was approved by the
That's
court,
what I said.
but it's not the court's plan. You can either deny or move forward or go back. So
Absolutely.
it's not the court's plan, it's your plan. So don't give us any misinformation.
I would agree, it's our plan.
well, you
And it
know,
was not court approved. We need to clarify that one too.
Well, let's back up. I did use the term, the court-approved plan. And it was approved by the court. We do have an agreed order from the
Okay.
district judge
Okay.
signed off on.
okay.
The court answered the
That's not an
question.
approval.
The
That was
court,
just
the,
the
the,
denial.
the court has adopted the agreed order of the parties, so now it's the court's order.
The court gave you permission to either go forward or move back.
I'm saying though, the plan itself that I'm talking
Well,
about
look,
was adopted as a court
Let's-
order by the court.
Let's
That's
just,
how that works.
let's just, let's,
That's right.
Okay.
So do it or not.
let's just go ahead on, make the decision on this HIM process, because now everybody in here is interested in the best thing for the entire county. Not just Rod Page, whatever the case is over there, so now I know that you say one thing, and of course, anything's possible if we put our mind to it. But at the same time, to satisfy you, Dr. Herbert over here, you know, I know you're a smart man, but at the end of the day, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You all know
That's
that.
slick. Oh,
So,
slick.
so let's just go ahead on and take a vote,
Okay?
and whatever takes place.
All right, all those in favor? None in favor, all those opposed, I'm sorry.
In
Okay,
favor
go
what?
ahead.
In favor what?
The motion as amended by,
I'm still confused.
We're in favor of the amendment now.
okay,
but-
what you confused, what, see if we can help you, young people.
I don't know if you can. We've been doing it for 15 minutes. I thought we killed this item last
Yeah,
month.
we did kill
We
a
did
snake.
not.
Yeah, we killed it. We turned around. and-
Watch my lips, we did not.
Okay, I'm asking one more time, we're gonna move on. So if the majority votes no, what happens? The amended motion stands.
The amended motion fails.
What?
If we vote no tonight, the amended motion fails.
That's right.
But if we vote yay, council said we gotta move forward with this
Yeah, the
merger,
merge plan.
unless we change it.
What's before the board is that the plan that we just got approved by the federal
Okay.
court will be delayed long enough to put it on the ballot.
No, that don't work.
For a bond issue. That's what is before the board. So if you vote yes, you're voting to do that. You're voting to delay putting the federal plan into effect. The federal, trying to use the right terminology here, the one that got approved by the federal court,
No, the one
delay
got
the
approved
action
by the law.
on that long enough to submit it for a bond referendum.
Well,
All right, if you vote no, you vote down the whole shooting match,
Okay,
you're
that's
back to
fine.
square one.
that's fine, fine. The point is, we was back to
Clear
square one
now?
in the beginning.
Better,
About as clear as it
Better.
could, but let's go.
better?
Yeah.
All those in favor,
In favor of what? The motion is inside.
as amended?
I guess, I don't know, man. I'm be honest with you. I don't
One
know.
there, all those against?
We gotta get Miss Shelley right. Miss Shelley's not
Restate
right.
the motion so she
Okay.
make sure she gets it right.
Yes.
Well, no, you know how to eat and everything.
The motion is to continue with consolidation, but with a delay until it is placed as a bond issue on the ballot.
I think we need to just table this.
The term consolidation is confusing everybody, is that we're gonna continue the
We don't need that
plan
information.
as approved by the federal court.
No.
That's the plan we're gonna use to submit for a bond referendum. That's the plan. If you
No.
vote yes, that's what you're agreeing to do.
No, what
You're delaying, and that's gonna be the plan that you use as your basis for the bond referendum. If you don't like that plan, and you vote the whole thing down, no, and you're back to square one.
Okay.
Eventually, you could go back with that plan, or you could go with a new one.
Okay, let me say this here. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know nobody in Topeka nobody in civil, over in the New Haven gonna vote for dollars just to go to Roy Page down here in elementary. I don't know nobody gonna do that.
So essentially, if you vote yes for it, you plan on killing it.
So, you know, my plan is to just start from scratch again. That's my position.
Start from scratch,
All right.
no vote.
Can I ask for the vote again?
Well, start from scratch would be a no vote. Scratch meaning scratch.
You can go back to the drawing boards and come up with some new plans to go along with this one, the one the court's
We can make
approved.
another motion,
But,
no?
he's asking, I'm answering his question. And at the end of the day, y'all can still go with what's been approved,
Mhm.
or y'all can go with a brand new plan and go with a bond referendum on it. But if you do that before you do the bond referendum, we gotta go back to the court again. So there's that.
No, you don't.
How you figure that?
We got to get, whatever if it's not approved by the court, we gotta get it approved.
What you mean?
What's approved by the court is what we just did.
The court is not gonna direct you to build a school.
We have to get it,
No, you
I'm
don't.
not gonna spar
No, you
y'all on
don't.
it. We have to
If you
get
build
a-
another one at Rod
we
Page,
have
you won't have to.
We have to.
No.
get the new
No.
If you
plan.
build, if you redo Rod Page, you won't have
If the school board
to.
has possession of this plan, they can do just what they want to do.
This plan.
Not the United States court.
This plan that just got approved.
All right, let's go. Let's,
No.
I'm through.
You mean everybody in the state of
Hey,
Mississippi got
hey,
to do
hey,
that
hey,
plan?
hey,
We're
hey.
under we're
No.
under a federal consent decree, that's why
Oh,
we got to.
oh, wait, no.
Let's vote. Excuse me, let's vote. Excuse me. Excuse me. Vote. Let's get it
Y'all
over
need a
with.
parliamentarian, that's what you need, not
Yeah.
an attorney.
All in favor of the motion as amended?
No, wait a minute.
Ask for the vote.
Wait a minute.
All in favor?
Wait a minute.
None it? Okay. I'm asking for the vote. All those in favor? I don't see any. All those against?
I want to vote to kill this plan that we killed last month.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. We gonna kill the
I
whole
want to
thing.
vote to kill the plan that
Well, it's
my
not a
amendment-
motion on here to kill the
My
plan.
amendment killed it last month.
You're back to square zero if you vote no.
Okay, so now we back to square zero.
Now,
Okay, now.
wait till the vote's over, wait till the vote's over. You know,
You abstaining, Wesley?
I still got questions. If you're gonna call the question why I got questions, you gotta take a vote on that. Now, I do understand that part of parliamentary. You can't call a question to kill my discussion without taking in the 2/3 vote. So if you wanna kill my question, let's vote on that. Cause and those who wanna go.
I will be glad to sit here all night and try to answer your questions.
Some of the 4-1 vote,
What you want?
if your car got
What you
gas,
want?
crank it up.
What's your questions? I would be glad to sit here all night. I thought you were done.
I'm not done. I told you I'm
Okay.
confused as mud.
It's gonna be us, and it's not gonna be anybody out here, okay?
Well, that's fine, that's fine.
If we get in here, I'm gonna try to,
That's fine. I mean,
may have to clear it. Do you
well,
understand?
you didn't
Is that
do it- you didn't
okay?
do it last week.
Is that okay?
We-
No,
we had
that's not
something-
okay with me.
Okay, but I mean, I don't know how to keep order.
They stakeholders. We ought to be able to talk back and forth with them.
No, they can't. This
Well,
is
they
our
did-
board
Well,
meeting.
they did it the
That's
last
right.
time
We
you
can
just
do
sent
what
them
we want at our
They
board
come up
meeting.
in here.
If we
So
need to
what?
suspend the rules, let's suspend them.
We could.
But stop mistreating people.
We could.
Stop
We could have a vote to
mistreating
suspend the
stakeholders and
rules if you want.
taxpayers. And people, like I said, people wanna go, hit that start button.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
yep.
My blood pressure.
All right, so
I'm
what's
trying
your
to get out
questions
of here.
about this, so we can go?
I wanna know how we back to this, if the amendment passed last month.
The
I'm still
amendment
like-
passed, the motion never did.
So Herbert, how you vote?
How did I
How
vote?
you gonna vote tonight?
I'm gonna vote it down.
You gonna vote it down, and that means what?
Start all over.
That means we start all over.
That means they're gonna move forward with consolidation.
So, we voted down, I can hit the floor with another motion,
That's correct.
because it's on the agenda.
That's correct.
Mr. Chairman, we've already voted.
Oh, hang on.
Sure about
Carry on.
that.
You ready now, Wesley? Huh? You got any more questions?
We ain't carried no more to vote to, man.
You got any more questions, Wesley?
Yeah, I still got the floor.
Okay, I'm asking you.
Until y'all vote me down with a 2/3 vote, I still got it.
Okay. Is your other question, or you just gonna sit there?
Can I mull it over a minute?
Yeah.
We didn't fill it.
I'm trying to figure out, it took us a whole week to figure out that we screwed it up. Now, Now, I don't quite follow that. All these smart people sitting over here on this corner, we screwed it up. And we supposed to be representing the people out there. What kind of representation have we had?
We made a mistake. We made a mistake by not passing the motion.
But, no, we didn't have to pass the motion. No, we didn't have to, that motion didn't have to go in at all. Now that, we could have killed that motion from the very jump. And so that's the thing. So if you just want us to accept your motion for that particular thing, then that's a whole different motion. And you want to put it in a motion to us that concerning your motion, and I don't have a problem with that. The others, as far as what we got down there for that, we voted for.
Mr. Alexander, what's our alternative, man?
Huh?
What's our alternative?
The alternative, what I understand is this. He wants to kill that motion, then turn around and vote on the motion again. That's what he wants to do. Now, and then, of course, once we kill that motion and vote again, then he wants to eliminate the requirement that we put in place.
Correct.
That's what it is.
Correct.
So now, my position is, we eliminate the whole process, start all over.
Okay. So that's a no vote then, right?
That's a no vote.
Okay. I'm done, Mr. Chair.
You done? You ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
All in favor of this motion as amended? All in favor?
Motion is amended.
All those against this motion as amended? Show of right hand. Okay, so 3 and 2 abstain.
Mr. Chairman,
Uh-huh.
I move that we continue with the court-approved plan of consolidation and hire JBHM as an architect so we can get a cost factor.
All right, I have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a
I
second?
move we adjourn this,
Yeah.
because this don't have nothing to do with
Do I
nothing.
hear a second? I will make this second. Any discussions?
I don't think that's a legal motion, that's a legal motion personally. And at the same time, you in the stuck, ain't gonna railroad no crap through me on my watch. I'm gonna tell you right now. So you can sit there and act like, and then turn over here and act like, you didn't come here with this plan, set this plan up in place to say, well, we're gonna get together here and we're gonna get our little 2 or 3 people in together and we're gonna vote this out and start all over again. No, your intentions is to do what you wanna do and forget about what the people want. No, that's not right. I'm not gonna sit there.
Let me set the record straight. Ain't nobody calling me
Ain't
and
nobody
asked
said-
me to
did I call
change
your
or
name?
anything.
Did I-
I'm always the one sitting
No,
on the
did I call
fence,
your
and I'm
name?
always the one that gets all the phone calls from everybody in the county.
I don't care what you give the folks in
And,
town. I was not talking to you. As far as I was not talking to you. First of all, it's like this here. I did not call your name not one time. Not
No.
one time. So now, if you know what they always say, if you throw a rock and hit it, a bunch of dogs, one bark, then that's the one holler, that's the one got hit. So now, but I didn't call your name. All I said was Stuckey, and also I said Herb over here. That's what I said. I ain't said nothing about you, not one time. So you can take
Well,
it.
I apologize to you.
Any discussion on this motion?
Yeah, it's about as underhanded as you guys can get.
I don't know how it's underhanded.
Of course you don't. Because you only see what Mark Herbert want to see.
Even if we'd have voted on the motion, if we'd brought it back up, it would have probably failed again. All right, any more discussion? I'll ask for the vote. All in favor of the motion to continue with the consolidation and hire JBHM as the firm, all by a signal of the right hand. 3.
That was
All up.
wait a minute. That wasn't in that motion about no hiring JBM in that motion we had in that last time.
Miss
Yes,
Porter.
I did.
Miss Porter,
What?
Miss Porter, what was the motion?
Move to continue with the plan and hire JBHM as the firm.
And we voted it down.
No.
It wasn't. We didn't approve it.
We're voting on it now.
We got 3 for.
All against. 3 to 2. All right, what's the next one? Passed, 3 to 2. Request approval of disposal of fixed assets as recommended by Avery Johnson, Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Avery, is it had anything we need to discuss?
No, sir, it's just attacked up. Fixed assets are attached.
I'm sorry?
The fixed assets, they are attached.
They're
The ones that
attached.
That we're requesting approval for disposal for.
Move.
Second.
All in favor for, request number 12, request approval of disposal of fixed assets. Wesley?
No.
4 to 1. 13, request approval for Mr. John Daly to attend the Summer Mass Convention, Biloxi, Mississippi.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? Not, I ask for the vote. All for approval of John Daly.
Yeah,
Go approve.
For what?
To go to,
Mass.
Oh, I don't care.
4 to 0. 14, volleyball coaching supplement discussion. It's, when we first, was y'all here when we did that volleyball? We said that we was gonna, start the thing off, and once it got going, and were they eligible for the playoff and stuff, we would cut it, I mean, increase the salary back to what slow pitch was. It's like 1,500, and slow pitch was 2,200. So is it time to try to do that? So I hear a motion to move it to 2,200.
move.
Second.
Can you restate the motion, please?
To set the salary for volleyball coaching supplement from 1,500 to 2,200.
Not salary supplement.
Supplement.
Who's the
Thank
coach?
you. Who's the
volleyball
coach? Huh?
Who's the volleyball coach?
Sherry
Sherry
Irving.
Irby?
Irving.
The
Irving.
teacher, Sherry Irby?
Hmm?
Okay, I know, okay.
Any more discussion? All in favor? 4 to 0. 15, request approval for revised pay scale for transportation and maintenance department as recommended by Rusty Rustin, Assistant Superintendent. Mr. Rutland, would you like to address this?
No, we gave it down to that coach.
As you see in your
We got it in the
packet
back.
that was submitted,
That's all.
to put the pay scale in a format
Oh, what is that,
as bus drivers and other classified employees in the district, and to be giving a 20-cent pay raise per year, just like the other employees get their incremental pay raises, and put it in that same format. And it is a slight increase in the base rate. And also, I also put in there a copy of what the average pay for these positions are in the state for y'all to consider.
That's all. I agree.
Move.
I move the exception. Keep on
Got
going.
a
Second.
motion by Mr. Alexander, second by Ms. Harvey. All those in favor? 4 to 0. 16, request approval of residential leases of section 16, 8N, 20W for a 10-year lease renewal as recommended by Rusty Rutland, Assistant Superintendent.
Move to accept.
Second.
Any discussion on 16, 8, 20W?
10-year lease?
That's what residentials are now, aren't they?
Well, you can go up to 25, but the Secretary of State's office does not like that number, just because of different circumstances, and they recommend going 10-year, and right now ours are going to 10-year leases instead of the older 20. You know, used to years ago, They had these 100-year leases and all. They've done completely away with those. So the Secretary of State recommends no more than a 10-year lease for a residential lease.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, we done?
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, they also recommend a minimum of 5% of the true market value of the land, which there will be a slight increase to both of these leases.
Okay. All in favor of 16? We go to 17, 4-0. Request approval of residential lease for 16-7N 10E for 10 years. Same deal. Curtis, got
I
it?
move that we go ahead and do it.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? 4-0, I'm sorry. 18, request approval for updated Bright Bites consent form data sharing agreement. Who wants to take this one?
I will. This is an agreement that you all approved previously as part of the district's receiving the EDLA funds, which afforded us the opportunity to go one-to-one where every student in the district has a device. Part of our agreement was that we would allow the Department of Education to monitor or analyze the usage of those devices. And so in the last couple of weeks, Bright Bites is the company that the Department of Education chose to do this data collection. They have recently been purchased by Google. And so now, as a part of that acquisition, we are having to do another agreement with Google for them to collect this data. Nothing changes other than the acquisition of Bright Bites and Google.
Okay.
So I just need your approval so I can
Okay.
get that turned in.
Move.
Second?
Ms. Harvey and Curtis second. Any more discussion? All right. If not, I'll ask for the vote on number 18, request approval for updated Bright Bites consent form. All in favor? 4-0. Number 19, consent agenda, non-personnel. There is 9 things on here. Anybody like to pull anything off?
I'd like to talk about 19-1.
19-1, we'll pull it off. Anybody got anything else? Okay, if not, I'll ask for a motion to consent agenda, non-personnel, 19-2 through 19-9.
Wait a minute, now one of those, do I have to?
No,
leave
ma'am.
that on? Okay.
Do I hear a motion?
I move to approve 19-2 through 19-9.
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor of 19-2 through 19-9? Consent agenda, non-personnel, 4-0. All right, 19-1, request approval of, for My View, My Perspective literacy curriculum by Savaz Learning Company as recommended by Tiffany Madison Curriculum District. I'll make the motion to approve.
So,
Second. Now, what's the discussion?
as I looked at this a while ago, this is like $250,000 for textbooks or something for this program?
150, I believe, near 150.
159.
151,000.
59.
159, yes.
That just seemed like a lot of money. What are we gonna do with it?
This is the new, the textbook that teachers chose to go with in the district because the decision was not ours. But it's a K through 12. This is the ELA textbooks that they decided to go with. And in comparison to the other vendor that we looked at, this was the cheapest one.
I'm sorry, that's not 159, it's 144, is My View.
Okay.
Yes, but this would be the K-12 ELA curriculum.
And these are being paid with ESSER funds.
Okay. That'll help.
And this is also, let me say that this is for 2 years of consumables, meaning that they'll get the textbooks again, next year.
Are they textbooks or workbooks or what?
Textbooks.
Okay. Any more discussion? If not, I'll ask for the vote for 19-1. 4-0. I'm going down to 20, consent agenda personnel. Anybody wanna pull any of it? If not,
I move to accept 20.1 through 20.22.
wait. You gotta go stop at 18,
You can stop it. You can stop it, 18.
Yeah.
2018.
2018 then.
Ms. Harvey, you seconded?
Second.
All right. All those in favor of personnel consent agenda through
No,
20.18?
Excuse me. All of, he was correct. Through 2021 is all under consent agenda.
Okay, let's go back and make the
I'm sorry,
motion right then.
22.
You said 22.
21, I'm sorry. 2021.
21 through 2022.
No.
21.
Put
I
the
got a
21, I'm sorry.
She has to recuse herself for
I had to recuse
22.
myself
So
for
she needs
22.
to, someone needs to pull 20.22.
Oh, that's 22. Yeah, you can excuse yourself. You vote on it. We're going to vote all at once. I see
Yeah,
this thing.
we're gonna
Through
make some-
2021, Mr. Stuckey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
20.
And you seconded?
21.4, yes.
Okay. Then we'll vote from 20.1 to 20.4.
22.
21.4.
Oh, 21.
Yeah.
All in favor? 4-0.
No, that's.
2022, we asked Ms. Harvey to leave because it's.
You don't have to
Just
wait.
close your
It'll
ears.
take.
Just put your finger in your ear. You ain't gonna vote on it nowhere. It's a waste of time. You ain't got nothing there. Oh, my gosh. There she gone.
Yeah, all right. So, I need a motion for 2022, request approval of coaching recommendation.
I move.
Second.
All those in favor? 3-0. Y'all can invite her back. Uh, 21. I'm confused. Okay, let's do 21. 21, request approval of policy revisions listed below and all others in policy section D as reviewed. Does 21.1 have anything to do with, yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing 21 and 21.1. There a motion?
I move.
Second.
All right, so why are we splitting 21 and 21.1?
So 21 is approving all others as reviewed. There is a proposed change for policy DJD.
Okay. All right, can you please explain this, Mr. Johnson?
Change.
I will explain it. attempt
Okay.
to. This policy revision was at the request of a board member. It is not the recommendation from the superintendent. The proposed changes are highlighted as you see in your packet. This will allow, if this policy revision is approved, it will allow the district to blanket pay the dollar amount that is allowed by the Department of Finance for meals.
So let me get this straight.
Oh,
So the policy now, when I first got on the board, the policy was we paid out the maximum amount for the state allowed, which is how much?
$46 is what it's.
$46 a day.
Per day.
And then, the auditor or whatever said, y'all really need to do it and make you bring a receipt for what you ate or what your expenses were for that day. And that's what we adopted as a board.
That was my recommendation. It was solidified by an auditor. However, it is not required, it is just a good practice for internal control.
So if I go to a meeting and I eat a McDonald's hamburger and I spend $5 for that day, then I get paid $46.
If this,
And that's
if
not
this
really fair.
revision
If
is
it- No,
approved.
if you go to a meeting, you spend $120 at meeting for dinner, and you get $40, whatever it is. See, it balances off, because everybody don't eat McDonald's. I know I don't, and so the whole point of this here, I don't care what you pay, personally. I don't care if you don't pay a dime. But it's like this, if the state allows it, we go by every other state rule, so why we gonna change that one? They don't, in fact, this body is, I mean, the state gives us $184 every, well, I put like $200 a month. Okay, other states get $6,000 or $7,000. So my point is about it, it really doesn't matter. And I don't see no big issue myself personally. It's just like if I go to a training and you go to a training, well, the fact is about it, we're gonna cover that training cost. You might not learn nothing. You might not come back with nothing.
All right, so let's get this straight. 21.1 is not the recommendation of the administration.
It is not my recommendation. No, it is not.
Okay.
I would ask to come in.
Any more discussions?
What's the motion on the floor?
21, request, and 21.1, request approval of policy revisions listed below and all others in section D. And the discussion is,
As reviewed, section D as reviewed.
yeah, as reviewed. And then policy DJD, instead of getting receipts and getting paid, you're gonna get the $46 a day. Maximum allowed.
That's what we was doing when I got here, right?
Yep, and then we changed it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, the CFO would like to say something if you mind.
Okay?
Also, number one, the information that's highlighted in yellow was highly recommended and agreed upon also by auditor versus the odometer meter reading. So it's the place of origin to the destination. The district is not able to reimburse someone for travel from, other areas outside of what the business event was. So I just wanted to call that out. And we use Google Maps right now for those mileage.
So
So you saying you paying travel from this building to Jackson?
To that event and from that event back, any travel between the district.
you haven't been paying that
Or to
anyway.
home, whichever one you want.
They used to,
What law is that, sir?
But that's a total different thing.
yeah, but I mean, they
Highly
used to.
not recommended by the auditor.
Okay, the problem with that, and I told you this a year ago, if I gotta bring back exact receipts for that hamburger, then I need my exact miles from garage to garage.
Well, this policy proposes not the exact receipts for the hamburgers. This
Right, I understand.
policy is lifting that.
Yeah, it is too.
So this policy would coincide with,
And the per diem will fluctuate no matter what city, no matter what state you're in? It's $46 for Mississippi, or is it $46 all over?
no, there's a chart that has that rate per area.
Yeah, like when we go to New Orleans, it'll be higher.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so the mileage would be from, say, my driveway to the event that we're going to,
No. Oh, it will? Thought it was
Place-
still from here.
Place of origin.
Place of,
place of origin would
yes,
be my house.
your home, this office, wherever it is,
Right.
wherever you're living from.
To the convention center or
Okay,
whatever.
But
Yes,
now-
not any traveling
Right,
that you're
right.
doing all around town.
Well, now we how we gonna get our food? They gonna bring it to us?
I don't know, Uber Eats will.
Huh?
Uber Eats will.
I wouldn't
Well,
trust
well,
it.
this my point. What you're saying is, now, I can stay at home and ain't got to pay a dime to go back before we go.
The issue is internal control. There is not a way that we would be able to control expenditures district-wide for anyone that would go to an event and do travel that's outside of the event.
But see, this the problem is. What you're telling me though is that if I go somewhere, I got to sit in that same location. And if there's no place in there for me to walk and get nothing to eat, I'm gonna have to sit there because I can't look, I can't add that in the mileage, but at the same time, you want a ticket or receipt for how much money I spend for the meal. That doesn't make sense to me, personally. Now, I don't care what the rest of them do, but for me, it doesn't make sense at all.
Say that again, real quick. Say that
What's-
again, real quick.
What he's saying is that if you had to say, leave the conference to go get your meal,
Yeah,
they're not gonna pay no gas mileage for that.
right.
But at the same time, if you don't, if I don't take a meal today, then they ain't gonna give me a dime because I didn't eat that meal. But if I spend $150 for a meal, they're not gonna pay me but $40 because that's the maximum amount. So if you got a standard set like that, to me, it doesn't make sense. It only benefits you. It don't benefit the people out working, the one who's doing the stuff.
There is another benefit, but we'd have to talk later. So I'll just say that.
So
I was asked to propose, I did this proposal in alignment with what's set by DFA. So it's just a proposal that's in alignment with the DFA, or we could just continue to keep what we have. But I was asked to do a proposal, and this is what I came up with.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, so we didn't get nothing, as far as meals and stuff like that. We didn't pay. A lot of time, I don't even bring the receipt back at all.
I'm just saying, in my opinion, we would get shafted the other way. You agree? Well, I mean, this is the way to go. This is what we was doing, earlier.
Yeah, you're right.
We were getting so much today.
Right, but then they changed it. And it's like we spend our own, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I agree totally. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna vote with me on this issue that you got here, because see, my thing, I think it ought to be like a really first came person, but at the same time, don't matter. You don't think one minute. So let's.
We done?
Yeah.
All right. 21.1. All in favor of,
All in favor of this policy revision?
yep. 4. All opposed, me, 4-1. 22, executive session. I need a motion to go into closed session to determine if we need to be in executive session.
I move.
Dan Stuckey, who's second?
Did we do, yeah, okay.
If we missed something, please tell me, 'cause
No,
I
we
don't
didn't
wanna do
miss
like we did
anything,
last
I
time and
slept
miss
through
something.
it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we can go ahead and get that done, because I need to get out here.
Curtis is second. All those in favor of going into closed session, 5-0. Dan Jones.
Might as well get rid of jump up and do it.
Okay.
Live. All right, we have exited executive session. The action taken in executive sessions on student transfers was, one was denied, two was approved, and one was tabled. And now I need a motion to go back into executive session for Lawrence County School District employee student transfer request. Closed session, I'm sorry.
Move.
Point
Second.
of order?
Yes, sir.
Can we do the non-contrary ones, for lack of a better term, right now?
In the open?
Can you give us those numbers now, Mr. Counselor, or you wanna go back?
You gonna pull 22.24?
The only issue that we got is that I would say we need to go into executive session on all of them.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
All right, move,
Move, closed session,
move.
Second.
second. Mr. Rusty Hatch.
I gotta get up and get it.
You need some exercise. back up. All right, we have now exited executive session on the matter of 22.2 Lawrence County School District employee student transfer request. 7 were approved and 1 was denied. I need a motion to adjourn.
I move. 6,
Let me
7.
tell you
All
what
in favor?
At the
5-0.
conflict-
We now stand adjourned.
conflict
Thank you.